You know, most of us are taught to live life like it's some kind of race. A series of finish lines we're supposed to cross. Get the grade, land the job, hit the target. But what if that whole race is actually a trap? Today, we're going to explore a completely different path, one that's all about continuous, purpose-driven progress.
Confucius just nailed it with this one, didn't he? It's that aha moment, that sudden kind of jarring realization that, hey, the clock is ticking for real. It's the point where we stop just going through the motions and start asking, is the life I'm living the one I'd actually choose? And that question, well, that's the heart of what we're talking about today. What if this second life, this awakening, isn't about reaching some final destination? What if the real point is to play an infinite game, a journey of constant growth and making an impact?
So first, let's dive into a trap that catches almost everybody. It's this super seductive idea that real, true happiness is just waiting for you right on the other side of that next big achievement. And this really forces us to ask a tough question. Think about it. How often do we trade the things that are supposed to last, our health, our relationships, our sanity, for goals that are, let's be honest, temporary? We keep telling ourselves a sacrifice will be worth it in the end, but will it? And here's the disconnect, right? The gap between the dream and the reality. We chase these symbols of success we're told we should want. The new car, the bigger house, the next promotion. But the actual cost? It's often a trail of broken relationships, precious time we can never get back, and our health just circling the drain. All for a prize we never even stopped to ask if we truly wanted.
This happens because we get tangled up in what's called the default cycle. It's that nagging feeling deep down that something just isn't right, but instead of actually facing it, we numb it. Maybe with another Netflix binge, a little retail therapy, or just the classic excuse of being too busy. We're just treating the symptom, not the actual disease, and so the cycle just keeps on going. Let's break down exactly how this trap works, step by step. It all starts with a trigger, that little moment of dissatisfaction or unease. So we react with a superficial fix, like a crash diet. Then when that doesn't work, come the excuses and blame. We distract ourselves to forget that feeling of failure until boom, the trigger comes back and we're right back at step one.
But you do not have to stay stuck in that cycle. There is a way out, and it involves shifting your entire perspective. From playing a finite game of just winning and losing, to playing an infinite game of growth and contribution. This new path, it starts by looking a hard truth right in the face. Memento mori, memento vive. Remember you must die, so remember to live. Now, this isn't meant to be grim or depressing. It's actually the ultimate motivator. It's an urgent call to stop wasting time on the shallow stuff and start living with real, authentic purpose.
And this right here, this is the core of the infinite game. The goal isn't to finish, it's simply to progress. Victory isn't some trophy at the very end, it's the daily, intentional choice to just be a little bit better than you were yesterday. That's it. That's the win. This mindset totally changes how you see failure. See, most people just fall forward. They take a hit and just kind of stumble on. It's passive survival. But a WayMaker, they learn to ricochet. They take the force of that impact and use it as fuel, launching themselves in a new, more purposeful direction. For them, failure isn't a dead end. It's raw material.
So what does this kind of WayMaker leader actually look like in practice? Well, they aren't your traditional manager. They're a steward. They see their role not as controlling things, but as being a conduit for potential to flow through.
Let me tell you a quick tale of two leaders. On one side, you have Eric, the manager. He's great at controlling resources and hitting his targets, but his team feels drained and stifled. Then you have Emily, the steward. She nurtures the potential in her people and her projects. She creates this incredible ripple effect of purpose, innovation, and real growth.
And that's exactly what it means to be a steward leader. Their focus isn't just on the quarterly report. They are multipliers. They create value that benefits everybody involved, all the stakeholders, and they build a living, breathing legacy through the work that they do.
A steward leader, a WayMaker, they act as a conduit. And let me be clear, being a conduit is a very active role. It requires building this internal structural integrity.
The character, the discipline, the resilience to handle immense energy and channel it outwards for the good of everyone, not just for your own personal gain.
Okay, so how do we build that kind of capacity? How do we actually forge our own inner Waymaker? Let's get practical and look at the tools for this lifelong journey. The blacksmith's forge is just the perfect analogy for this. We all start as raw metal, right? The extreme heat of our trials and challenges, that burns away the impurities. The hammer strikes of daily pressures, that's what shapes us. And the cold water of recovery, that tempers us, making us resilient and incredibly strong.
A core element of the Waymaker is this incredible Finnish concept called sisu. Think of it like grit on steroids. It's this radical determination. Where normal grit might help you push through hardship, sisu is this action-oriented mindset that helps you see a barrier not as a wall, but as a gateway to a whole new frontier of opportunity.
And this brings us to the intentional cycle, which is the direct antidote to that destructive default cycle we talked about earlier. Instead of numbing a trigger, you press into it. You dig deep to find the real root cause. You create a focused, intentional plan of action. And then, this is the crucial part, you review what happened, you learn from it, and you evolve. This is how you break that negative loop for good.
Ultimately, this entire path, the path of the Waymaker, the Steward, the infinite game, it all leads to a place that's beyond just yourself. It's really a call to a higher, more meaningful purpose. And this changes how you engage with the world. It's no longer an ask for help, which always comes from a place of neediness. It becomes an invitation, which you extend from a place of strength and purpose, inviting others to join you in building something meaningful together. It's a totally different energy.
Because in the end, this is what it's all about, isn't it? The true measure of your life won't be the finish lines you cross or the stuff you collected. It's going to be the echo you leave behind, the positive, lasting impact you create by serving a purpose that's way bigger than yourself. So I'll just leave you with this thought. The finite game is all about winning for yourself, but this other path, the Waymaker's path, it leads beyond the self. It's the infinite game of creating your legacy one intentional day at a time. The only question left is, how will you play?